Hi, Christine Armstrong with Exercise Ruckus. We're going to practice doing some sitting on the ball activities. These are all wonderful for balance, core stability, and strength, and can also help with strengthening of the knees and hips and feet. So first you want to have a ball that you can sit on that isn't too big so that your hips are really high or too low that you feel like you're sinking down deeply into the ball and your knees are coming closer to your chest. So you want a ball that kind of fits your body portions. Hopefully you have one. And then first thing we work on is sitting nice and tall, lengthening your spine. I like to think about pushing my sit bones down towards the ball while I lift my ribs up away from my hips to separate the distance there. And then like to try and lift my head off my shoulders to lengthen my spine. The belly button is pulled in gently and not just pulled in or sucked in, but more like a pull and a lift. So you're drawing your belly button towards your lower back bottom ribs. That kind of helps give some stability to the pelvis. And the first thing we want to do is wake up our sacrum and our spine. And so that's a posterior and anterior pelvic tilt. So in other words, imagine drawing your tailbone forward, and that's a posterior tilt. You feel the back of the hips drop. And then an anterior tip, the belly button comes forward, the back of the hips rise up towards the shoulders. So tucking and arching. Sometimes I call this happy dog and scared dog. Happy dog, he's got a little arch, he can wag his tail. Scared dog, his tail is tucked under him. He's not real happy. You don't want to wag your tail here. So back and forth 5 to 8 times is plenty. Start small and then progress. If you have back problems, go slowly. Do not rush these. There's a lot more happening than you're aware of. And then you want to bring a hip to a rib. So you raise the hip, and the opposite leg has to work a little bit more. This hip will lift a little bit, and you want to try and raise the hip towards the rib cage. So you can stay on the same side. And again, your reps can be 5 to 10. You can try and hold at the top, whatever works best for you. Just getting that feel of the pelvis moving side to side. And right now we're doing our right side, and then we're going to shift, and now you'll do your left. So left hip to left rib. Can't see quite as well on this side for me. The other thing you see is I have a chair next to me, and that's in case I lose my balance. So you always have a little safety net built in. There we go. There's my side lifts. And now you want to draw a circle with your tailbone. So imagine a clock, and you're drawing your tailbone on the outer edge of that clock. But the secret here is not to let your whole body go, but to just move just the pelvis. The knees will move a little bit, but the feet are planted. Again, that good posture. So I like to go 5 in one direction, and then I go 5 in the other. And pay attention to whether the circle is smooth or choppy, or if it's more in the shape of a rectangle or a triangle. That's all very common. And it does smooth out the more you practice them. This is an easy one to do. Say you're watching TV, you can sit on your ball during the commercials and practice some of these. Those are just some of my silly tips for that. So that's a wonderful wake up for the pelvis, and it's also a great body-mind connection, understanding where the pelvis is. Then we progress to some more stability activities. First, you can practice raising your heels, trying not to shift too much on your ball. So I alternate right and left. A little ankle mobility here. And then I like to go the other way, and I like to raise my toes. Pull those toes up. I also really like to spread my toes so that as I pull my toes up, I really spread them as wide as I can while the rest of my body remains quiet. And again, that's just for range of motion. And how does that feel? And then try raising both heels. And then try raising both toes, both sets of toes. Got a total of 10. Spread them wide. Use those anterior tibials, the muscles in the front of the shins. It helps keep us from tripping over our toes. Good. And then now we're going to begin to do a little bit of weight shifting. So a small, low march. And at first, you'll find yourself really moving a lot. So I want you to try and keep your body as quiet as you can, and then increase the length of time with the other leg lifted. So it should get longer and longer. So you might start with 1 or 2 seconds and then progress to 5 or 8 or 10 seconds. Again, you can make this work for you. And I also like to draw the toes up and spread the toes as I raise my leg. Once you've mastered that, or you want to give a try, you can try it with a straight leg. So I like to extend my leg out in front of me, pull my toes towards me, spread my toes wide, and then raise that leg. Oh, there goes my balance. That's where that chair comes in. And can you hold that? And again, you can start with 1, 2, and then progress that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maybe you can get to 10 seconds. But keep pushing the heel away, toes towards your face, spread your toes wide. That really helps activate the entire knee complex. It's a wonderful knee exercise with the legs straight, but also the foot that's on the ground has to do a lot of work too, stabilizing you. So it's a win-win for both sides. I'm going to switch to the other side. It's always good to be balanced. Find your center, pull the toes towards you, spread the toes wide, then raise the leg. And again, 2 seconds. Got to find my center here. 3 to 5 seconds. Adjustment. Sorry. See, even I have to make some changes. That's okay. Make it work for you. That's the key. And then can you go 10 seconds? Maybe 20 seconds? If you can get to 30 seconds, you are rocking it. And don't forget the posture. Raise the ribs. I just caught myself slumping down. Boy, that's easy to do. Good. And then release. So you can practice alternating. See how long you can hold. Lots of different variables for there. Once that starts to get easy, you can start adding your arms. So first, I like to alternate arms. Don't forget your posture. That's the most important. Start there. Okay. And then we're going to take this a little bit farther so that as you raise that right leg, you got to raise the left arm. And then guess what? You got to switch. And then switch. Feel how quiet you can keep the main part of your body while you move your arms and legs through space. Grow tall, start to reach. You can start reaching in each direction. So I reach up and I reach down. That changes it. I can start extending. So rather than just a march, I extend the legs straight. Requires a little more skill, a little more balance. There's lots of different ways to do this. Again, 8 to 10 times on each side. Again, this stuff doesn't come easy. It's just a daily or every other day activity. You don't get any better if you don't do it. And you can talk about it and you can say, I'm going to do this. Don't just say it, do it. That's going to make the changes. That's going to help you stay more stable and strong. Last but not least, I like to add a little bit of weights. I just have a couple of pounds here. So now we can take that same activity we were doing and add a weight to it. Oops, you can't see my arms, but you can imagine my arms pushing up overhead. But now I have a little bit more weight, which challenges the body on both sides. You have to make the changes for those weight shifts. And that's where the strength comes in. Again, 8 to 10 on each side. Make it work for you. Run through this video twice if you had fun with it. That's how you'll get stronger. I can't encourage you enough to just do it. It doesn't matter what you look like. Nobody cares. This is about you taking care of you.